Good afternoon, young people. This is an Explain Everything video about Pythagoras for the Year 10 class, and we are going to be covering Pythagoras in between week 1 and week 4, so we're going into the second week now. Please remember that we will be flipping the class, so I will be giving you work to do at home to prepare. Not a lot in time, but some work to do at home, so that you can come prepared to class and we can make some good progress. Please do make every effort to do that work that I give you, because what we do in class is going to be based upon your preparation. The beta textbook has got all the information that you do require, pages 312 to 326, so please do be proactive. Don't wait for me to give you work from there. Go and start working through that beta textbook. Also, please do consult Ultranet, Rewa College Ultranet. The resources on there are pretty good, and we are going to be using them. There's an introduction to Pythagoras, calculating the long side, calculating the short sides, practical applications. We'll be doing that in class, so please, again, be proactive. Go in there, get on with it, have a look, make absolutely sure you know what's going on. A very good resource to use is also YouTube, and just to Google keywords like Pythagoras or Pythagorean theorem. It's lovely to hear somebody else explaining something in a fresh approach, new voice. So don't be shy to do that. Go to YouTube, put the keywords in, go to Google, put the keywords in, and play those videos. Have a look at that material, and it'll be of great benefit to you. There are also the IXL resources, and you've got your passwords for that. We'll be doing some exercises from IXL. I'll be giving you some home learning as well, which is tied up in flipping the class, so please do look out for that. And we need to start this revision, I suppose, by actually looking at revising how to calculate roots, square roots. We're going to look at specifically, but don't forget that one can also calculate cube roots, but we'll be working particularly with square roots at this stage. And we'll also be looking at revision relating to rounding. It is important that you are able to calculate the square roots of numbers. Very important for this Pythagoras unit of work. Some of them you know that the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of 16 is 4, the square root of 25 is 5, the square root of 144 is 12. You know that from your times tables, but there are times when you're going to have to calculate square roots of numbers that are not that easy. For example, if you had to calculate the square root of 99. So be absolutely clear how to do that. Be clear. Be sure to know which button on your calculator you use to be able to do that calculation. Please do go and have a look at the Alpha textbook, which is the textbook you used last year, and there are copies of the Alpha textbook in the back of the class. Grab one and go through this material that relates to square roots. It's on pages 138, 139 and 140. Go and have a look at those pages and make absolutely sure that you are able to do that work. This is page 138 from your Alpha textbook, the one you used last year in Year 9. And please have a look at it. Please go through it. It's there to help you, to refresh your memory. Have a go at the exercises 5.08 down there in the bottom. And if you have a copy of the textbook in front of you, then you can find the answers at the back, but I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to mark your work. Do have a look at question 9 and question 10. What is the square root of 1? What is the square root of 0? Those are two interesting questions. Give those a go. Give those some thought, and make sure you get to see the answer, the correct answer. Page 139 of the textbook. That tip at the top of the page is pretty useful, because if you had to calculate the square root of, say, 30, then you can use multiplication to be quite sure that you're in the right area. You know it's going to be somewhere between 5 and 6. It's very good to test your answer. It's a very good habit to get into in mathematics, so that you are pretty sure you're in the right area and have a very good chance of actually getting it right. Also, have a look at those questions 1, 2 and 3. Have a go. It's good practice, and make sure you check the answers in the back of the book. This is page 140 of the textbook, and there's some useful information in there. For example, middle of the page, use a calculator to work out the square root of 19. The answer there tells you that if you did that, you would get that display 4.3588. I can hardly read it. And it goes on and on and on. And this is where rounding becomes very important. Look at the tip there in the blue box. That answer is too accurate for most general purposes. So that's where we round off to 2 dp, 2 decimal places. So you've done rounding before, and we'll run through a bit of it again. So you round off that long number to 4.36. Have a look at the example below. It doesn't relate directly to Pythagoras, but it's good general knowledge to know about square roots. If you'd like to have more practice working with square roots, go to exercise 5.09. It's on page 141, 142. Have a go at that. Answers are in the back of the book. Make absolutely sure that you're able to use your calculator to do those calculations. It will really be to your advantage to do just that. I've changed textbooks here. This is a picture of the of your beta textbook. It's page 22. I think it's slide 46 on the electronic copy of the textbook. Do go and have a look again. Pretty useful. Tells you some crucial information up at the top. Roots reverse the effect of powers, and the most commonly used root is called the square root. Remember, I did remind you that one also gets cube roots, but we're not working with those at the moment. Don't forget that though. So square roots undo squaring, and we know that 5 squared is 25. So if we want to reverse this operation, we then say that the square root of 25 is 5. Look at the symbol over there. We've gone through this before, but the symbol for square root, there it is, and you need to be able to find that on your calculator. Have a look at the exercise 1.12. Have a go. There, question E, the square root of 1 is cropped up again. So you've done that in the previous exercise. Have a go. Have a look at the answers at the back of the book, and make absolutely sure that you're able to do that work. Before we get to rounding revision, we have to look at some significant figures, because you might sometimes be asked to give your rounding answers in significant figures. So just a quick word about that. I've got some music playing in the background on my Spotify. Superheroes. I hope it's not distracting for you. So, back to significant figures. The number of significant figures a number has is the total number of digits that are used to represent it accurately. So, for example, 7,553 has 4 significant figures, and you can read the rest there, especially about the zeros. Be careful about those. Read the information on this page. It is quite important, but don't get confused about it. When are zeros significant? You can see in the examples 502, there are 3 significant numbers. 8.001, there are 4 significant figures. Good idea to remember it like this. If I say that I ran the 100-meter race, then 100 in that case has got 3 significant numbers, 2 of them are zeros. But if I say I ran about 100 meters, maybe a bit more, then it's an indication of how far I ran approximately, and then the zeros become placeholders. So just remember that in numbers with zeros, they, depending upon the amount of information you have, they can be placeholders or they can be significant numbers. When you get to this part of the presentation, exercise 6.01, I'd actually like you to do question 1, A to J. Please do them. Please write them in your maths exercise book, because they will be part of the flip class, and when I get to that particular point I'm going to be asking people what the answers are. If you've listened to this video, you'll know what I asked. For those who have not listened, will not have done this work, so please do be very careful to do exercise 6.01, question 1, A to J. Here we are at rounding numbers, and quite interesting statement. Sometimes in maths we're not interested in the exact answer. An interesting statement because mathematics is generally so precise, it's right or it's wrong, but you do understand the context. Sometimes we want an approximate figure or a rough answer, and especially around land. We very rarely talk about the exact size of land. We do round references to land. It makes sense because the numbers can get quite small, and the accuracy is not required generally. Do read the examples given below. They are of interest, and they are also helpful for you understanding how rounding actually works. Rounding 6.4 to one significant figure. From your experience, certainly in year 8, you'll know that you round down from 6.4, so it becomes 6, and that is one significant figure. Round 7.7 to one significant figure. Again, you'll remember from year 8, certainly year 9, that 7.7 rounds up to 8, one significant place. Read the rules of rounding down at the bottom. It's just revision for you, but it's an interesting read. I'm not going to read it for you. It's there and it is quite clear. Here are 3 more examples for you to practice. Significant place. Questions on the left, answers on the right. Absolutely correct answers, so that if you've had a go at the example, you can mark yourself and see how you've gone. When you get to this slide, exercise 6.02, I'd like you please to do question 1 and question 2. Question 1, A to F, and question 2, A to F. Again, this is not to catch anyone out, but I'd like you to do the questions, write the answers in your maths workbook, and please have them ready so that on the day that I ask for the answers, that you can simply refer back to your workbook and you'll have the correct answers. Certainly you'll have your work there, and of course one hopes that they will be correct. So young people, while this is just a refresher, some revision about rounding and significant figures, this is not the end, it's just the beginning. You have to continue your research, your work. If you're unclear about anything, please come and see me, ask me, and I can help you, and between us we can figure out exactly what it is you need to understand this work. So that's an open invitation to you. Please do make use of it.